Today, I want to talk to you about something that has been a recurring theme in my practice over the last couple of weeks. I want to talk about something that many of us silently deal with but rarely address, and that is our throat chakra. There might be a pun there if you know anything about the throat chakra, but we'll get to that in a little bit. In any case, prepare yourself because we are leaning into the hippie woo today. I need to say this, and you need to hear it. Hey there, my sister, my friend. Welcome to the Dr. Tanya B podcast with me, Dr. Tanya B. I am here to help you be your best, most authentic self, your life, your way. We're going to talk everything self-care, self-love, mindset, and personal growth with a splash of hippie woo. I am proud of you for giving yourself this time today, so let's not waste time and let's dig in. You may be feeling overwhelmed, burned out, or stuck in patterns that don't feel like you're normal at all. You may feel like you have to control everything or are finding it hard to express your true thoughts and feelings. Maybe you feel taken advantage of or disconnected from your authentic self, who it is you truly want to be. And what I've been noticing recently is this pattern of anxiety and fear that is popping up, and in some cases it is absolutely debilitating. And all of it is related to the throat chakra. So we are going to explore how a blocked throat chakra can tie into these struggles and how letting go of control, speaking up, and living authentically can help you start to find your voice again. So let's take a deep breath together and we're going to jump in. The throat chakra is the energy center that is located right at your throat. It is all about communication, self-expression, speaking your truth, and control. That's the one that always gets us, that control. So when this chakra is open and it's balanced, you feel free to express yourself, you speak your mind, you ask for what you need, and you even set healthy boundaries. You are able to communicate clearly and confidently without fear of being judged. The other side of this, though, is that when your throat chakra is blocked, it shows up in a couple of different ways. You might feel like you are not able to speak up for yourself, and as a result, you start to feel unheard or misunderstood, or even like you're being taken advantage of. If you are a woman who is overwhelmed and constantly juggling a million tasks, this might sound all too familiar. So, let's get started by talking about control. Women especially often are taking on too much responsibility, whether it is at work, at home, or in our relationships. There's this unspoken belief that we have to manage everyone and everything all by ourselves. And often we are worried about things not getting done the right way, or that we won't be seen as being capable or reliable. And in trying to control everything, we often suppress what are our true feelings and our actual needs. When your throat chakra is blocked, it is usually some reflection of a deeper fear of being vulnerable or fear of conflict. And so you might avoid speaking up because you're afraid of what will happen if you do. The thing also that happens most often in my work is that things don't happen by themselves very often. Usually themes emerge, and several people will come to me in a very short period of time with very similar issues. And so I'm talking about the throat chakra today because that's exactly what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. There is some sort of block and it is manifesting in different ways. In some cases, it is sparking anger and resentment because we don't feel comfortable for lots of reasons to express ourselves, whether that is based on history and your upbringing, or whether it is you are not able to express yourself within your partnership in terms of your home and your family responsibilities. Or this one is pretty fascinating. Suddenly we're afraid to drive, especially during any kind of weather. And I've seen this happen in more than one case recently. And this is just a lack of control from a different situation, and it's manifesting itself in this really awful way. So another sign of a blocked I couldn't say it, a blocked throat chakra is the difficulty in speaking your truth, even when it is most needed, whether it is with your parents, your partner, your children, your colleagues, or even your friends. When you don't speak up, what happens is you end up bottling all of your emotions. And this leads to frustration, confusion, this feeling of being unseen and misunderstood. So, for example, imagine that you are in a relationship where you feel like you are constantly giving more than you are receiving. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Probably most of us. So maybe you haven't told your partner how drained you are, or that you feel like you are doing most of the emotional labor. Instead of expressing how you truly feel, you just keep doing it all, hoping that things will change on their own, expecting someone to catch on. But what happens instead is that over time, you become resentful and the relationship starts to feel like a burden. When you don't speak your mind, the imbalance continues and you are not living happily within that relationship. When you are not speaking up, you're likely feeling like you are being taken advantage of. You might feel like you're giving more than you're receiving in your relationships or at work or with your family, but you are not setting the boundaries that you need to protect yourself. So think about a situation where a coworker or a friend or maybe even an adult child constantly and consistently asks you for favors, knowing that you will always say yes because you are worried about pleasing people. You're worried about making sure that everyone has what they need and that it's your responsibility to take care of everybody. And so every time you say yes, even though it is inconvenient and in the process your needs are getting pushed aside. So over time you start to feel resentful, but you don't say anything because you're afraid of letting that person down or hurting their feelings or having them not reach out to you when they need your help the most. And so this dynamic can eat away at your self-worth, and the more you bottle it up, the worse that it gets. So this kind of behavior is a very clear indicator that your throat chakra is blocked and that you are afraid to assert your needs. And as a result, you are left feeling taken advantage of. You are giving away your energy, and that is even more exhausting. So the ultimate result of this blocked throat chakra is this loss of authenticity. When you are not speaking your truth, you're avoiding difficult conversations, and you are trying to control everything around you, it becomes harder for you to connect with your true self, who you really want to be. And you might feel disconnected from who you are and what you actually want out of your life. So if you have a passion, a dream, or an ambition that you have kept to yourself for years because you don't want to rock that boat, maybe it's a career change or a creative project, or even something as simple as spending more time on self-care, but you keep pushing it down because you think it's not practical or that others might not approve of this, then that is a pretty clear sign that we need to do some work on your throat chakra. You are not living authentically because you're too worried about that judgment and what other people will think, or the fear that might come with stepping up into this full power of yourself. So the good news is that there are ways for you to open and heal that throat chakra. It takes just a little bit of self-reflection and practice, but it is totally and completely doable. So here are just a couple of ideas that you can use to get started. So the first one is speaking your truth. You can start small. If you have been holding back in conversations, you can practice saying things that are on your mind, even if it's just to a close friend or a family member. The more you speak your truth, the easier it becomes. My one caveat to that is just to remember that honesty does not equal cruelty. And so you can be honest without being hurtful, but you still get to speak your truth. You just don't have to do it in a way that is hurtful. You get to do that in a way that serves you and everybody around you. And then another one is breath work and sound healing. The throat chakra is very much connected to breath and to sound. So practices like humming, chanting, singing, or vocal exercises can stimulate and clear energy from the throat chakra. You can also practice deep breathing exercises to calm your mind and focus your energy on speaking from the heart. And then the last one that I have for you right now, which is super fun, is that color is associated with each of your chakras. And so for your throat chakra, it is the color of like a teal or a blue. Picture sort of like the like deep ocean water, that teal blue color. So that is the color that is associated with your throat chakra. And so wearing that color or surrounding yourself with objects that remind you of that color or that sort of bring it back to mind will help activate that energy center. So all of that to say that healing your throat chakra is about connecting with your authentic voice, letting go of this need to control everyone and everything, and speaking your truth without fear. When you do this, you'll begin to feel more in control of your life, more empowered in your relationships, and more at peace with who you are. So start small. Take a deep breath, express one truth today, and begin to release the fear that has been holding you back. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to live happily. This is a lot of information that I just sort of threw at you, and it might feel a little bit confusing if this is not something that you are attuned to or understanding the impact of your chakras. The good news is that this is absolutely my jam. So if you need or would like additional support, book one of my one-on-one breathe and break free sessions. The link is in the notes. I have it priced super low for the holidays so that they are accessible for everyone. I am here to help. Let me know what I can do for you. I love you, and I will see you soon.